I'll leave it there then, and you could just jump in if you need to. All right, thanks, mate. You're the best. See you, mate. Bye. I should be streaming this game. This is the game. I'm like talking and trying to watch this, and I gotta keep an eye on this. This is amazing. What a shot. Yeah, holy dooly.
I think I turned you down, so you might not be able to chat to me. Welcome everybody to NAB Stadium here in Auchenflower. It's QBL women's action. It's the Brisbane Capitals hosting the Cairns Dolphins tonight in a big-time QBL matchup. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I'm John Gorn. I'm joined tonight by Dan George. Dan, this is going to be a great game. Both teams with title aspirations. Caps come in undefeated. Dolphins at 1-1. Both teams, though, this is probably going to be, well, definitely for the Capitals, it's going to be their toughest test of the season thus far.
Yeah, and not underestimate either Cairns having to get on a plane and fly down for tonight and a doubleheader obviously on this trip. But you're right, it's going to be a great game. Both teams I expect to play really, really well. You'd expect the Dolphins with someone like Mark Worthington running the show to be really well coached and execute their stuff, and they've got a really talented team with imports still to come, mind you, and Brisbane on their home floor. When looking at them warm up, looking at them in previous weeks, they're going to be a quality team all year, so I'm looking forward to tonight. Should be a really good match.
Yeah, full squad for the Capitals tonight, and you look at this roster, it's a very talented roster. They've got their 2 imports, Delisha Lloyd and Ariel Butts, but most importantly, and probably the biggest news, that Amy Lewis is back, and she is playing tonight. Amy Lewis is a very high-quality player. She could be the difference between making the finals and winning a championship.
Oh, no doubt, and obviously she's familiar to everybody here at Auchenflower, so you'd expect her just to slide right back into this team and be pretty accustomed to what they're trying to do and what Coach Dudek's trying to do. But you're right, she's a great player, and just as a fan coming to watch matches, I'm glad she's in the league and allowed to play, and it's a pleasure to watch her do her work on the floor, so it'll be good to see tonight what she can bring.
I know you were talking to Coach Worthington before the game. He's got a pretty good squad, and he's still missing his imports. What did Coach Worthington say? What do you think he's expecting out of his squad tonight?
Well, we were just chatting. I'm lucky to have known him for a little while when he first went to college in the States, and he's had one of the greatest careers in Australian basketball history, you would say. I mean, he's done almost everything in the game, so I just wanted to go and say hello and just catch up, and he's a great guy too, which is good. But I think from a playing point of view, he was like, I guess the challenge is X's and O's and executing your stuff is one thing, but managing players and managing, I guess, 12 or 15 ladies and personalities, it all is part of the challenge as a coach, and I think he's really enjoying that challenge, and given his playing resume, you'd expect that to flow over probably into a pretty good coaching experience as well, and he did it last year and he's back this year, and I would expect them to have a great season with his guidance.
All right, we're going to stand for the national anthem. We'll be back with our commentary shortly. Great rendition there of the Australian national anthem. We're a bit delayed in the start of this stream because the SBL match between the Brisbane Capitals and the Noosa Cyclones went to overtime. That was a great game too. If these two games are anything like it, we're going to be in for a treat tonight, Dan.
No doubt. It just shows how much talent there is playing around southeast Queensland. I mean, that game, that SBL match, if I'd have walked in, that was the QBL match, you would have thought, yeah, it's about right. Those guys really played hard and at a really high quality, and you'd expect the same for this women's QBL match, and then obviously the men later, grand final rematch. It's going to be a really big night of basketball here at Auchenflower Stadium.
And Dan, let's talk a little bit about what expectations for these teams. We saw the Capitals in round one, and they did a lot of work on the inside out with Ariel Butts. She's a talented player, but now that there's a little more talent and depth of talent in the Capitals roster, what do you expect? Do you still expect to see them playing inside out?
I think she'll remain the focus. Anytime you bring an import out on a men or a women's team, if they're not the focus, that maybe it's not the right fit, and I would expect them to go through her a lot. But I think that first game that we saw, she was such a focus. They'd go one pass, post-entry, and then just stand there and watch her do her thing. With the players they've got now, and Amy Lewis, Delisha Lloyd, the other girls that have obviously been here, Maddie Woodford, Heidi Freeburn, this is a talented group. You would expect them to still play inside out, but I think they'd get through more offense, maybe get their hands through the ball with a bit more frequency, and maybe get Ariel Butts off the move, flashing to the post, rather than just going and standing there and just having a very standstill, stagnant offense. I expect them to move a lot and play with a bit more cohesion tonight. Yeah, it's going to be a really interesting game. Coach Worthington cut his chops in the coaching ranks in the QBL last season. He was upset because they were in the top 8 and they missed out on finals ball last year. So this is a talented group from Cairns. Expectations for them tonight? Well, I think from the season, they won't miss out on finals again, I don't think. I'm sure that they'll be right there at the end of the year. I think I actually had a really quick chat with one of their players earlier, just before the game. one of their veterans down there, and she was just saying that they're just not quite gelling like they would expect them to with a group that's pretty familiar. So I think tonight you might see a bit of that come out. Maybe they'll have a few more turnovers than you'd expect. Maybe the shot selection might not be there, but I expect them to play really hard. And tomorrow they'll be a bit better. Next week they'll be a bit better. And they're just going to gradually build, bring in a few more pieces. So I expect them to play really, really well. But if we watch them play again in 6 weeks' time, they'll be at another level altogether.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. I think this is a really good measuring stick for the Capitals, and this could be a great confidence booster for Cairns if they can come in without a full squad and get a win on the road in Brisbane. Who knows where that could take Cairns' team. So we're just about nearly set for tip. I thought we were, but now I see the scoreboard just went out, so that's never a good sign, is it, Dan?
No, it's not a good sign, but you would hope that these guys and girls down there can get this scoreboard back up pretty quickly, which it looks like they have. I think they're just trying to fill in now the player numbers on the left and right of the board. That seems to be the issue. The scoreboard's ready to go. 10 minutes. But the player numbers are just flashing all over the place. So they'll get it sorted out and we'll be away shortly, hopefully.
Yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in, and thank you for your patience also with the delay at the beginning of the game. Again, it was a SBL game that went into overtime, a great game which the Brisbane Capitals won over the Noosa Cyclones. That last second buzzer beater, Dan, I mean, 3.7 seconds left. You get it in the corner, let it fly. That's the stuff. You never forget stuff like that. Have you, in your playing time, ever been a part of a buzzer beater?
I sure have. I shot a buzzer beater. The one that comes to mind is Hobart versus Kilsyth in the semi-finals of the Seabowl, 2006. Ball came to me in the corner, let it fly, buzzer beater, I missed and we lost. So thanks for bringing that up, Johnny. That's great, buddy.
I was only talking about the positives. You know that.
That was a long off season, that one.
Well, but what about anything else? Have you ever been on the court for a buzzer beater?
I sure have. I've been so lucky to play with so many great players. Ishmael Mohammed put a buzzer beater in CJ Massingale's grill at Knox. Ishmael, when you talk about the quality of players we see in Australia, he went to the Final Four of Georgia Tech, and a couple of years later he's here playing in Australia. We've just been so lucky to be flooded with talent in this country, with locals and imports, but who knows, we might see another couple of buzzer beaters tonight, because this match and then the men's obviously to follow, I think will both be really tight, really hotly contested games, for which I have no tip. Either team could get up in both, so it'll be great. Yeah, good basketball to come to this evening.
So you're gonna flake out on tipping the winner of this matchup for us?
Okay, if I'm on the spot, I'm gonna tip Brisbane just in the women, and I'm gonna tip Cairns just in the men.
Nah, you gotta save the men's for the men's stream.
Well,
maybe you debate. You'll think about it over.
Well, I'm sure
over the course of the game.
Potentially, but I'm sure we've got a lot of listeners that are ladies basketball fans. I'm just want to give them a little enticement. Hang around for the men's broadcast as well.
Yeah, we definitely will have the men's matchup shortly after the women's matchup. But looks like the scoreboard is set, and we're going to get set as well for this exciting QBL matchup presented to you via Live Sport Australia and Nothing But Net Media. Looks like Ariel Butts is going to get set to tip with Taylor Evans.
John, I'm looking forward to watching Myra Donkin, number 8 for Cairns too. Veteran player, been around a long time. Rachel Pryor, number 11, another really good player that's been around for a while. There's just so much talent on the floor.
And you know, we quite often get caught up in the men's competition, but the women's competition has. Let's talk about talent. We were in Toowoomba last night. We had plenty of WNBL talent on the floor last night. We see some WNBL talent here, and the WNBL is arguably the second greatest women's competition in the world.
Well, we had, just as this game tips off, just to finish, we had Abby Bishop that played for Seattle, I think, last season, WNBA, playing in Toowoomba for Rockhampton. So the talent is just immense in this league, and it's fantastic for Queensland basketball.
All right, we're going to reset, and Brisbane's going to maintain possession. They'll have the first opportunity. It's with Lewis now. Right away, going inside to Butts. There's the double team. Good ball movement here. Jumper is up and off. Good offensive rebound, though, by Butts. Out to Lewis. Her jumper is up, and that's short. And then Ariel Butts going to get called for the foul.
You never want to pick up a foul in the first 20 seconds or so, but if it's picked up by your big crashing offensive boards, you can live with that. Great activity from Ariel Butts to start the game.
Let's see here. Brisbane showed a little bit of pressure. I like that early. Pass inside is nearly stolen. Pryor recovers, though.
This matchup, sorry, John. This matchup, Ariel Butts and Rachel Pryor are kind of cross-matched. That's fascinating to me. Rachel is so mobile, very skilled, athletic. Ariel Butts is obviously going to go down and use her strength. It's just, that's going to be a good one to watch all night.
Yeah, good play there by Pryor, getting the tough pass to drop on the layup attempt just as the shot clock expired. Good pass inside by Aldridge. There's a foul. They're going to call an offensive foul.
Might have been camping in the lane. 3 seconds,
All
I
right,
think.
3 seconds. Yep, sorry. But we see here early again, Brisbane looking to play through Ariel Butts. It's not really the worst decision, is it? Inside pass to Pryor. She's double teamed. Corner three is short. Good offensive rebound. Putback, though, is no good. Long rebound goes out to Duncan. Pass, though, stolen by Amy Lewis. She's streaking down court. Layup attempt is missed. In there for the rebound, though, Woodford. But spins in the paint, and she's fouled. So great action here to start early, Dan.
No doubt. And that's the kind of play where I think Ariel Butts is going to be at her most dangerous. On a broken play, get it in, make a quick move. It's when they're set and they let the defense set where they just try and grind it out through her. I think they look a bit stagnant, but plays like that, if she can keep moving. And we haven't seen her for a couple of weeks. She looks like she's settled into Brisbane. She looks, silly thing to say, but she looks a bit fitter even just with a couple of weeks of training under her belt. And with her size and strength, if she's mobile and athletic as well, it's such a tough cover in this league.
She missed them both, though, and she's going to have to hit her free throws because you know she's going to spend plenty of time at the free throw line. Good pressure here from the Brisbane defense. Evans has it. They're looking inside again to Pryor. Good ball movement, another corner jumper. This time that one's good. That's Ella Hutchinson. So you see Cairns recognizing that double team early. Really good recognition from the Dolphins. Butts again goes to the left hand, too strong, but there's contact and a foul.
It's interesting. She goes right dribble and then spins back to her left hand almost every possession. We'll see if Cairns can make an adjustment. I think we saw that the first week, and the first two touches tonight, she's done the same move again. So we'll see if they can make an adjustment and play that a little bit better as it goes on.
What's the adjustment to make?
It's a great question. I'm sure Mark will figure it out.
He's on the coach's bench.
Hey,
so
he's a much smarter basketball mind than me by far. But I don't know. I think you expect her to come back and you just stand there ready. Maybe you bring some help down when she puts the ball on the floor. Maybe you double down, knowing she's going to spin back that way. Just so when she does spin back, there's no space for her and she can't get to the foul line.
Freeburn takes the jumper, it's off. Brisbane yet to get on the board here. Cairns doing a pretty decent job forcing the action. Evans' three is off, and Butts comes down with the rebound. Here's Brisbane in transition. Pass is tipped out of bounds. It goes off the Marlins. So that's going to give Brisbane possession underneath the Cairns basket. Then a foul before the ball could even get inbounded. That's going to go on Taylor Evans. That's her first personal. It's the third team foul on Cairns. 7:23 to go in the first.
Wow. What an exchange. What an exchange. I'm not sure if I've seen that. A foul before the inbounds on the defensive team and then an offensive foul before the inbounds. Amazing.
Well, referee is calling it tight here early. I don't mind that, establishing their play.
I think we spoke about Amy Lewis and Ariel Butts and Delisha Lloyd is coming off the bench, but Maddie Woodford's a really underestimated player for Brisbane.
There's Lewis's jumper, and Brisbane's on the board.
Great defender. We see her picking up Myra Donkin full court here. Amy Lewis's mid-range game is nice too. Good to see her back in a rhythm. Looking good out there.
Yeah, and again, she makes a big difference for Brisbane. Evans over to Pryor, who puts it on the deck. Pass. That's over to Kennedy. Kennedy hits the jumper. Not a bad look there by Pryor, hey?
Well, I think that's where she's at her strength. Ariel Butts probably can't contain her or it's going to be a challenge to off the dribble.
Great ball movement by Brisbane, leading to an Aldridge shot. Then the ball, it's going to be called a jump ball.
So Rachel Pryor just finished on that. She'll give them 14 and 10, 15 and 11, something like that most nights. But if she can get in the seam, draw defense, draw help, because she gets around her bigger player, that opens up jump shots for all these other players.
They're going to get the floor wipers out on the floor. 6-2 here early, Dan. What do you like to see, what do you like from both teams here early, about 3 minutes into the game?
It was a good game to watch so far. I like Brisbane's energy picking up full court. I think that's good for them. They've got some depth on the bench with Champion and these players who are going to come in as well. So why not go hard early with their starting group and put some pressure on the Dolphins? So I like that energy from Brisbane. Get the home crowd into it as well. And I like, on the other end, Cairns' poise. They're not letting it rattle them too much. They're still getting into their stuff. They're getting decent looks. So it's shaping up to be what we thought it was going to be, which is a high-quality game of basketball.
Yeah, it's been really good so far. Brisbane struggling a little bit here early, getting some good opportunities, and they've gotten to the free throw line here early. So, you know, Coach Dudek's going to want to see some improvement at the charity stripe at the very least. Good screen set there by Kennedy. She's going to step back into a three. That's well off. Woodford comes down with it. Don't mind the look, though. Jade Kennedy could hit that one. Lewis, pull-up jumper. That's good. Mid-range game is on point tonight.
Just brings us a different dynamic to the floor, doesn't she? When you've got players that can do that sort of offense, just quality basketball player.
Pryor going at Butts. She lays it up and in. There was no help there for Ariel Butts whatsoever. She was on an island. And a great steal there by Evans. She's pushing up court, looking for the trailer. It's tipped out of stolen there by Lewis. Great job hustling back on defense. And a foul call. That's going on Elle Hutchinson. That's the fourth team foul for Cairns. 5:14 to go in the first quarter. Kate Heel checks in for Victoria Aldridge. There's Woodford going baseline. She steps out of bounds, though. That's a bad turnover there by Woodford. She's got to recognize her position on the court. Coach Worthington going to go to the bench, too. Checking in is Bibi Baker, and Elle Hutchinson's going to take a breather. And here's that pressure again from Brisbane. Butts read that pass. Great steal and recognition by Ariel Butts. 8-4 lead here for Cairns over Brisbane. Freeburn takes the shot. She's fouled on her way up, so she's going to go to line for a couple shots. Heidi Freeburn. Again, talking every name I mentioned on both of these teams is a weapon.
No doubt, and I know to start the season we saw her really act as a distributor, get everybody else involved, but she can step up and score as well, and it's good to see her being aggressive, looking for her own stuff, which in turn helps everybody else get open too, because she draws so much attention.
There's the first free throw for the evening from the Brisbane Capitals. Second one is good as well. 2-point lead now here for Cairns, and then Freeburn steals it. She's going to go right at Pryor. Layup is no good. Offensive rebound by Woodford, and Lewis, though, misses the jumper. Those are ones that could maybe come back to haunt you later on, Dan.
Especially when you get a turnover like that. If you're going to get a steal, you want to really penalise them. I would almost, if I'm Cairns, it might be crazy, but I'd almost run Rachel Pryor as the point forward almost. Because I'm not sure that Ariel Butts is going to stay with her, and it might just help her backcourt take a bit of the pressure off, because this Brisbane's press is starting to give them some trouble.
Good pump fake there by Freeburn. There's contact. They're not going to count the bucket. Nonetheless, though, Freeburn going to go to line for a couple shots here. They're in the penalty, so that's the 15th foul. The referees pointed to side out, but it's 2 shots at the charity stripe. Got to like the aggression here, though, from Freeburn. Things kind of settling down a bit for Brisbane. They needed someone to step in and get some shots off.
Absolutely. That's a great way to get yourself going as an offensive player too. Just be aggressive, get yourself to the foul line. You see a couple of foul shots go down, makes that jump shot feel a whole lot better.
Yep, Freeburn going to go to the line. Second one is up. It's good as well. And there's a sub on the floor. We're seeing Delisha Lloyd for the first time tonight. She's going to give Amy Lewis a breather. And then Aldridge checks back in for Ariel Butts. So good sub there by Coach Dudek, getting a couple of the teammates. Bit of breather. It's going to be a long night. We're all night of that 8. 4 minutes to go in the first. Great ball movement here from Cairns. Jumper is off. It's tipped around. Somehow coming down with it is Kennedy.
Well, it really was awesome ball movement. And the challenge for Brisbane now, the Ariel Butts out, is to see if they can keep Cairns off the offensive board. I'll tell you what, if Brisbane play as hard as Coach Dudek coaches, they are going to be the hardest playing team in the comp.
Yeah, Coach Dudek certainly coaches with passion. That's to say the least. All right, 10 seconds to go here on the shot clock. Cairns getting set. Then they're going to call a foul there again on Brisbane. That one's going to go on Woodford. It's a blocking foul. That's the 4th team foul for Brisbane. So one more, and Cairns will be in the bonus. So shot clock does reset to 14 here for Cairns. There's Kennedy with the pump fake. Gets it out to Duncan. Wide open 3 attempt is good. That's our first 3-pointer of the night. It gives Cairns a 3-point lead. Good look to Woodford. She misses the layup attempt. It's tipped around, and Lloyd comes down with it. Now Lloyd drives baseline, flips it up. That's too strong as well. So a couple good looks. Brisbane, though, just can't finish.
A couple of great looks, but this is a fantastic game to watch. As Mara Duncan, same spot.
Back-to-back threes. It's now a 6-point lead for Cairns. Lloyd's going to step into a pull-up. That's good.
You're going to love the confidence. That's a quick shot. You'd almost say, let's pull it out and get a good look, but she stepped right in and knocked it down. That looked great.
Yeah, action's picked up a little bit here, too. The pace quickening a little bit. I think this is Brisbane's game. Contact on the floor. Pryor takes a big check. Aldridge going to get called for the foul. 15 foul. Shooting now.
Sure are.
Coach Dudek going to go back to the bench. Lewis checks back in. Taylor checks in, as does Butts. So Aldridge, Freeburn, and Woodford going to take a seat. And then checking in for Cairns is L.J. Williams. And Rachel Pryor going to get a breather. No shots. Don't know how that was. That should have been the 15 foul. Williams puts it on the deck, throws up a wild one. It's tipped around. There's Williams, I'm sorry. Checking it, that was Naomi Pedro who flipped one up. Williams got the offensive rebound and put it back up. She was fouled, so she's going to go to the line for a couple shots. First one is good. 15-10 the lead here for Cairns. 2:25 to go in the first quarter. Second one good as well. A bit of pressure here from Cairns. Good handoff. Lloyd, though, throws one way out of bounds.
She thought she was throwing to Princeton almost from the men's team, I think. Slightly too high, but Cairns bringing their own pressure up the floor, which is bothering Brisbane now a little bit too.
Yeah, I like that off of the made free throw. Just give him something to think about at this point in time. Wide open 3 attempt is too strong, though. Great offensive rebound by Mallon. Getting her own miss. Duncan looking for the screen from Williams. There's the horn set. She's going to step back into a 3. That's an air ball. Ball goes out of bounds. Brisbane possession. Lloyd again, just going to stop and pop. No good. Cairns off and running now. There's Duncan getting in the paint. Great no-look pass. Williams flips it up and in. How about the pass there from Naomi Pedro?
Absolutely, beautiful look. And Cairns finishing this quarter really strong. Big couple of minutes for Brisbane to make sure that they stay right in this. They're playing well, but 10 points in a quarter is obviously a lot less than they would have expected. But give Cairns credit, their energy is fantastic at the moment, and they're playing some great defense.
There's Lewis getting to the bucket, laying it up and in. Cuts the lead to 6. Duncan off this horn set again. Picks up her dribble. Great ball movement here again. Mallon's going to fire the 3. That's short. Williams with the offensive rebound. Flips it up and in. Williams coming in off the bench, doing work.
Doing a good job. Giving her team second chance opportunities. Filling lanes in transition. Trailing like we saw. And I think we just saw Jess Taylor just fall over. I'm not sure there was a foul there, but maybe a home court call maybe.
Yeah, Taylor's going to go to the line because Cairns is in the penalty here. So good opportunity to stop the clock and chip away at this 8-point lead of the Cairns Dolphins. That first one is good. Second attempt now is off. Delisha Lloyd. I don't know who they called that one on.
I think it's on Ariel Butts, which if that's the case, that's her second.
Yep,
That's a tough call on a free throw to pick up your second foul. That's just, again, she'll get used to how this league's officiated the longer she's here, but she's got to realise how valuable she is to the team. You've got to keep yourself on the floor. So those are the kind of cheap fouls, the ones that I'm sure she'll cut out of her game as the season goes on.
That's exactly what we said in that opening one. She picked up a couple of quick ones, and they're a different team with her on the floor. They seem to run their entire offense through Ariel Butts, and when she's not on the court, they struggle getting the ball inside. There really isn't that target inside when she's on the bench.
I think that's where they're lucky that they've got someone like an Amy Lewis coming back who can go out and create something, because without her, the first week at least of the season, we saw them really struggle when Butts was out. But with Amy Lewis, there's another option which hopefully when they do get in foul trouble, they don't drop off too much offensively.
There's 8 seconds on the shot clock. Lloyd's going to fire a baseline jumper. Woodford with another offensive rebound. Freeburn going to step into a 3. She's off. Now Cairns will have possession, and they'll hold for the final shot of the quarter, up 8. Donkin kicks it over. Mallon, good ball movement here. Donkin steps into a 3. That's a bit too strong, and that's going to be the end of the first quarter. So heading into the break, it's 21-13, Cairns over Brisbane. Dan, quick thoughts on that first period of action.
Quick thoughts, quality game. Cairns executing a little bit better than the Capitals at the moment, but still fantastic game of basketball, and I think 13 points is a lot less than what Brisbane would have expected to be scoring, so they'll be looking to make adjustments offensively, but give Cairns credit. I think they've really junked up their defense nicely. A bit of pressure. They've trapped down well when it goes into the post. They've played really good basketball, and offensively, Brisbane's having a hard time containing them as well.
Yeah, let's see what adjustments they make at the quarter time break. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back with the second quarter with you shortly here on Live Sport Australia via Nothing But Net Media. All right, welcome back to NAB Stadium here in Auchenflower. It's the end of the quarter time break with Cairns up 21-13. Dan, taking a quick look at some of the stats. What do you see on there?
Well, the stats are pretty even. Points in the paint, Cairns have a definite advantage at the moment, which is a little bit surprising maybe, given how heavily reliant Brisbane are on aerial butts, their post player. But, I mean, the Capitals shooting 4 of 17 for 23%. It's going to be hard to generate many points down the other end. Cairns slightly better at 42%, just shooting at a better clip, which at the moment might be the difference in the game.
All right, let's see what adjustments the team's made at the quarter time break. Brisbane comes out. See Lloyd and Freeburn. Freeburn leaves her feet. Lloyd going right at the defense. Turnaround jumper is off, but they're going to get her for the offensive foul. Great defense there by Naomi Pedro. Here's Brisbane with that pressure again. Cairns struggling at the moment. Smart play, though, by Duncan. She's going to skip ahead. Great ball movement here. Good block. That's Heel with the big block. Excuse me, Alice Bowden. And then up ahead, Lewis streaking and lays it up and in. Couldn't ask for better transition there, could you?
No, well, from both teams. I thought Cairns' trans was pretty good too, but Brisbane able to get the block and capitalise at the other end.
Good hands there by Freeburn. Woodford battling for it. She can't corral it, though, but she nearly comes up with the steal. Great hustle there by Woodford. She's giving it her all on the defensive end, doing a great job here early on Duncan.
Absolutely. And I think Cairns are interested in a foul almost reaching in on Myra Duncan there, because they have caught a few of those hands-in fouls so far tonight, not on that occasion. But, yeah, Maddie Woodford playing super hard and very active defensively.
Got to get the shot off. Pryor flips it up.
Oh.
They're going to say it was a shot clock violation. So Pryor, I thought it just got off.
I thought she got it up, but missed anyway, I guess. So
yeah, it didn't hurt. Here's a bit of pressure here from Cairns as well. Lewis streaking up court. A lot of contact on that one. She misses. Lloyd, though, with the offensive rebound. She can't get the shot to fall. Then fighting for the rebound, though. Ball goes out of bounds. We've seen, probably 3 or 4 at the moment where you think Brisbane's got the easy bucket, can't get it to fall. We see this. It's a 6-8 point game. Those really hurt.
Well, Delisha Lloyd, I reckon, just fading away a little bit, even on those buckets right in close. Just fades away just a touch, but man, what a great athlete. Not the tallest player, but good leap, very strong, great rebounder. And can lead the break here, as we see.
Finds us. That's a great pass to Lewis. Lewis misses, but she's fouled. I think the referee's waiting to see if that one dropped because there was a bit of a delay. That foul's going to go on number 9, Bibby Baker. Coach Worthington, though, going to take a timeout. We'll take one as well. There's 8:30 to go in the first half. Cairns leading the Brisbane Capitals 21-15. Back with you here at NAB Stadium in Auchenflower. Coach Worthington of the Cairns Dolphins takes the timeout. Just didn't like what he saw there for a second, so he's going to take a bit of a breather, regather the troops. Damien Lewis at the line for 2 shots.
Well, I think it's a great timeout. Like we said in the pregame, when Rach Price, very experienced players, said they're just not quite gelling the way that they would have thought they would a couple weeks into the season. So rather than, I guess, let Brisbane go on a run and keep that run going, call a timeout, make an adjustment, Really good coaching from Wertho, and hopefully Cairns can come out and make those adjustments he would have asked for here, because they've had a pretty good start to the game up until this point.
Let's see what Cairns has here. Coach Worthington going with the bench here as well. Good look inside. Pryor got great position, and she's fouled. That's a great look again from Naomi Pedro. She's had a couple of really nice dishes tonight.
Yeah, she sure has. Smart player.
And she's kind of take a breather. Coming back into the game, that's Jade Kennedy. She's checking back in with Pryor at the line for 2.
Well, I love players that get subbed out and run to the bench. Oftentimes in basketball, we kind of get subbed out and we just wander over. But Naomi Pedro just sprints to the bench. Just a great team player, great teammate by the look of it.
Pryor misses them both. Brisbane getting back up court quickly. Woodford gets in the paint. Great look. Lloyd, baseline jump shot. Too strong. Good hands there by Woodford. Evans recovers, though. And Cairns gets the reset here. Bit of zone now from, a bit man-to-man. Evans open for 3. That's good.
That's nice offense, too. Get the ball into the post, draw the double team, kick it out, extra pass, open three-point shot. Really nice offense from Cairns.
Remember, guys, you're watching the QBL, Queensland's premier basketball competition. Oh, teammates running into each other there. That didn't look like it tickled either, as Bowden and Delisha Lloyd knocked into each other. Timeout taken, though. Dan, let's keep it here. That play there is almost a message of what's happening at the moment for Brisbane. They just seem a little bit out of sync on both ends of the court. They haven't really been able to get it all together, in about 2 1/4 quarters.
Yeah.
Excuse me, 1 1/4 quarters.
Yeah. Well, I agree, and that's going to happen. You've got Delisha Lloyd, who I don't know if this is her first game, I think, for Brisbane. Obviously been around the league for a while, but when anytime you bring in new players, you haven't trained all together, there's going to be plays like that happen. It doesn't look great, obviously, from where we're sitting, but it's going to happen. But it's a turnover and you move on from it. But I think, as we've said about Cairns a couple of times, not having the cohesiveness they would have wanted at this stage of the season, Brisbane's the same, and most teams in the league would be the same in the second or third week of the league. But I think there's a lot of positive signs, and Brisbane's offense starting to look a little bit better. Cairns are continuing to play at a really high level.
You look at the stats, though, for Brisbane, it's night and day with Cairns at the moment. Brisbane 5 of 19 from the field for only 26%, 0 of 2 from 3. And Cairns, I'm laughing. I can't believe it. They've shot 11 3-pointers?
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
Well, they've only made 3, so it doesn't seem like they're raining down from the three-point line too much, but I agree. Brisbane's 0 for 2. They've only taken 2 shots. It just shows where their focus is. Pump the ball inside. Whereas Cairns, more than happy to let it fly from the perimeter.
Let's see what Brisbane can come out with here. Does look like a bit of a zone from Brisbane. Evans fires a 3. She hits one. That's actually the second one for Evans. Probably not what you want out of a timeout.
No, not if you're Brisbane. But Evans has played really well.
Ball goes through a few players' hands. Last touch, though, by Cairns. So Brisbane has possession. 14 seconds to go on the shot clock. Inbounds pass is knocked around and stolen by Cairns. Duncan pushing the ball up court. She's got her head up. Gotta love that from your point guard. Great ball movement here. Pryor's going to settle for the baseline jumper. Too strong, and Freeburn comes down with it. Good look inside for Aldridge. Kicks it out for Woodford with 12. She gets in the paint, flips one up. It's blocked to look like Kennedy comes down with it.
I think Taylor Evans got a piece of that shot too, so doing it offensively and defensively for the Dolphins.
Coach Worthington looking at his zone offense. What do you make of Coach Worthington? He's quite a fiery player. As Bibby Baker hits a 3. We said we can't believe they took so many. They've hit 3 in a row since I've said it.
Yeah, they have. Absolutely. They're sending us a message up here. But to your point, maybe we can talk about it. Well, good foul to give us a chance to talk about it. I mean, Mark Worthington is probably one of the most fiery, competitive players you would have seen in Australia in terms of on the floor, just his animation and how hard he used to play. But looking at him on the sideline, he's just very composed, not getting too high, not getting too low. Just seems to have really nice demeanour about himself, which is what you want as your leader of your team. You don't want the coach going too crazy or getting too upset. I just think he's bringing all the qualities, and with his resume as a player, he could have started coaching anywhere he wanted, but to take a job with the Cairns women's team, to learn his craft as a coach where anyone else would have learnt it, which is probably in a women's program, not try and go to the NBL right away. It just shows that he's going about this all the right ways, and he's going to have a great coaching career, you'd expect, just the way he's doing his business tonight.
And recently retired as well, so he can focus specifically on coaching if he so chooses. Jumper short there by Mallon. Coming down with it is LJ Williams. She gets in the paint, flips it up, it's off. It's going to be an interesting matchup between Williams and Butts. Good crossover there. Freeburn won't hesitate, and she drains it. Puts the lead to 10. Baker running the point with Duncan on the bench. Gets into the paint, a lot of contact there. Somehow she recovers it and lays it up and in.
Just some heavy contact on that play. Maddie Woodford's a bit shook up. I'm sure she'll be fine in a moment. Well, I hope so anyway.
Hey, took a good shot on that one. Woodford not hesitating to step into that. Knew the contact was coming. Stepped up to take the contact. She's going to get a little bit of a breather. I think she caught one on the nose there. 32-20 the lead here for Cairns. Cairns doing a great job defensively here, really quieting down Brisbane in the second quarter. Lloyd gets to the paint and she's fouled. You don't mind that one there from LJ Williams.
No, you got to make her go and earn those points at the line. And I think with Delisha Lloyd coming in, Amy Lewis obviously here, that's going to change the rotation a little bit for Brisbane. But I would have thought maybe we were seeing Grace Champion. They're struggling to score. They might be struggling to get to 30 points for a half. I would have thought maybe injecting another shooter might have helped space the floor for Brisbane a little bit. So I'm not sure if we'll see her anytime soon, but a little bit surprised she hasn't seen minutes so far.
Well, we saw her light it up in week one. She got hot from deep, and Champion definitely can light it up when she has it going on.
And just a high basketball IQ as well. Made the right plays, and you're right. She was absolutely on fire from downtown.
I'll tell you what, though, what's really hurting Brisbane is their free throw shooting. They're 9 of 16 on the night.
Well, they're doing a good job getting to the line, but you're right, not converting at all. But
well, that's half the battle. You can't hit them if you're not at the line, right?
That's exactly true.
But those are bonus points. You have to hit those ones. Evans' jumper is off. Freeburn comes out of a pack of 3 or 4, streaking ahead, clutches and misses, but she's fouled. They're going to give that one there to Sarah Mallon. And Heidi Freeburn's going to go to line for a couple shots with 4:10 to go in the half. Freeburn gets the first one to roll in. Don't know how they let that one go. That should have been a lane violation. But Butts skipped across the lane, jumped in the low position, and they still let that count. I don't understand. How could they do that?
Well, I was taking a sip of water. I actually missed it, but maybe because the shot went in, they ignored it. If it had a miss, maybe it would have been called a violation had she got the rebound. But
I don't know, but if you enter the lane, it's a violation.
It should have been. I agree.
That free throw shouldn't have counted. Good take there by Elle Hutchinson. She lays it up and in. Lloyd, a lot of contact on that one. She's fouled. She's going to go to line for a couple shots. Things seem to be getting a little more physical here, Dan. I don't mind the physical play.
No, it's good, and I think as long as it's consistent in terms of the officiating both ways, which it has been, I think, to the largest extent, it's good to see them play. Just put the whistles away, let these girls decide it. There's high-quality players out there. Just let them play. That's a pretty good crowd here in Brisbane again. Both sides of the stadium are filling up pretty quickly. Obviously a men's match coming, which is going to be a big draw card, but there's a lot of people here for the start of the women too. And they came to watch everyone hoop. So I'm glad that these officials are just letting it go a little bit, but I think Brisbane are going to the line for their 19th and 20th foul shots of the match, so they're certainly benefiting from the physicality so far, doing a good job getting to the line. I think Cairns are 3 of 6, so a fairly big difference.
Substitution on the floor. Coach Dudek going to check Kate Heel back in, and Victoria Aldridge going to check out. Lloyd hit her 2, cuts the lead to 9. We got just about 3:40 to go here in the first half. There's that bit of pressure from Brisbane. Cairns breaks it quite easily. Stepping into the 3 is Pedro. Okay. She makes it rain. Oh, sorry, I just gave the wrong score there. I think I gave it to the wrong team. 37-25 is the right score. Freeburn gets the bucket. There's a 2-point shot. So trading buckets at the moment has led to a Cairns 10-point lead with 3 minutes to go here in the first half. Evans has it in the corner. Good defense there by Lloyd. Now she's doubled, gets it out to Duncan. Duncan's going to fire a 3. That rolls in and out. Freeburn hasn't. She's off and running. Good idea, poor execution. Great look inside from Duncan to Williams. I'll tell you what, Williams started on the bench. If I'm Coach Worthington, she's staying on the floor.
Well, she's been great. I think her and Pedro have both been awesome so far.
It's nice to have a couple weapons like that coming off the bench, isn't it?
Just defensively as well, they've done a great job. Ariel Butts really hasn't had a huge impact, but Heidi Freeburn, Amy Lewis, Delisha Lloyd keeping Brisbane in the match, but those 2 girls for Cairns, you're right. We didn't talk about it much in the pregame, but they've both been awesome so far.
Foul on the way to the bucket. It's called on Brisbane. That was on Freeburn, so that's her first personal. It's Brisbane's 3rd team foul of the quarter. Duncan with the jump stop. Can't get the finish.
She made such a good move. Just didn't quite reward herself with the finish, but she's been playing well, but did all the hard work on that occasion. Didn't quite reward herself.
Let's see what Freeburn has here. She's going to step into the elbow jumper. She's starting to heat up a little bit. 39-31 the lead for Cairns. Here's a corner 3 from Elle Hutchinson. That's a 2-pointer actually, but great creativity there by Pedro yet again. Bit of contact, Lewis can't finish. Lloyd comes up with the offensive rebound, and she puts it up and in. Just about a minute now to go in the half. 8 points the lead here for Cairns. Williams gets great position on the block, just backs her way in. She misses, and Lloyd comes down with it. Heels jumper is off. Aldridge tries to grab it. Duncan comes down with it. And then she's fouled by Amy Lewis.
We'll check the numbers at halftime, John, but Delisha Lloyd is proving to be a handful on the boards for Cairns. Really strong body, offensively and defensively, doing a great job on the backboard, which is a key for Brisbane, I think, tonight to stay in this match. given some of the size and the quality of Cairns interior players.
I think referees are giving Coach one referee I think had enough from Coach Worthington, so they swap spots. Coach Worthington's been giving them an earful at the moment, and Duncan has been giving them a gutful in the paint.
Oh, wow.
And Coach Worthington, he's teetering on the edge of a technical here.
Probably deservedly so. There's a couple of possessions we saw, and Myra Donkin's such a key player for them. She's got to stay on the floor. We saw her get called for a foul when Jess Taylor just fell over all on her own earlier in the match, and then again tonight. That looks so clean. So 2 fouls, which is a concern if I'm Cairns. You want to keep her on the floor as long as possible.
Yeah, and you're also up 10. You wanted to extend that lead. Now you send them, or the Capitals, to the free throw line with the clock stopped. So, Brisbane should theoretically get another opportunity at the basket.
They should, definitely.
Maybe 2.
Yeah, no doubt.
Maybe none. Freeburn hits them both. Then Maddie Woodford's going to check back in. So it looks like Woodford's all right, which is a good sign to see. Delisha Lloyd going to take a breather. It's like an offense-defense swap here.
I was about to say, it looks like it. Which is surprising because Delisha Lloyd, I think, is a pretty good defensive player. I don't know why they would take her out for a defensive possession, but Coach Dudek knows her team.
Bit of zone here. Good look again inside. Hutchinson can't finish. Williams with the offensive rebound. Then she travels, so turnover there for Cairns. But, gee, that look from Pedro inside to Hutchinson, that was gorgeous. So Brisbane going to hold for the final shot of the quarter, the half. I misstarted the clock there, so we're a little bit behind. There's 5 seconds to go. Lewis has it now. Gets into the paint, kicks it over. Lloyd, jump shot is a bit too strong. And that's going to be the end of the first half with the Cairns Dolphins leading the Brisbane Capitals 43-35. Dan, quick recap. What are your thoughts here in the first half of action with the Dolphins up 8?
Well, it's been a great game so far. That's the first point. A high-quality match. I'm sure everybody watching online and here at the stadium is enjoying it. So far, I think Cairns have done a great job, obviously up 8, but Brisbane are just hanging around, largely like getting to the foul line. We'll check the numbers when we come back, but they'd have 24, 25 foul shots to Cairns, 6 or 7 maybe. So it's a huge difference, but I just think Cairns inside are proving to be a handful on the glass. But saw the girls coming off the bench and do a great job in there too, and Myra Donkin's been impressive. So quality effort in the first half from both teams, and we'll see what the second half brings, but it'll be another 20 minutes of high-quality basketball.
Yep, we're going to take a break. It's halftime, 43-35 the lead for the Cairns Dolphins over the Brisbane Capitals here on QBL Basketball, presented to you by Live Sport Australia and Nothing But Net Media. Welcome back to NAB Stadium in Auckland Flower. Still got about 5 minutes or so to go before the start of the third quarter. It's 43-35, Cairns Dolphins over the Brisbane Capitals. Let's take a look at some of the halftime statistics, though, Dan. What's jumping out at you at the moment?
Well, the stats read pretty evenly, as you'd expect for a game that is pretty even. I mean, we spoke during the broadcast about the foul shot discrepancy. Cairns are 3 of 6 from the foul line. Brisbane, on the other hand, 15 of 22, so that's an enormous difference. But everything else down the line, the rebound count's fairly close. Steals, blocks, turnovers are pretty close. Points in the paint, Cairns have an advantage, 14-6. I think from Brisbane's point of view, Heidi Freeburn's really stepped up, 16 first half points, whereas the spread for Cairns is pretty even. So I'm not sure if they've got one girl in particular that's able to step up and carry the load, if we're going to continue to see a really even team performance. And for Brisbane, if Heidi doesn't have it going in the second half, who else is going to be there to plug this deficit? Obviously down by 8 points. So far a pretty even match and a big second half coming up.
Yeah, I'd love to just take a quick look at the bench points, because I've been most impressed really with the bench play off the Cairns Dolphins, particularly of Naomi Pedro and LJ Williams. They came in and made a real difference, and I think for me that was the difference in the game.
Well, the bench points and the points in the paint, Cairns have an advantage in both, and probably for both the exact same reason, which are those two ladies you just mentioned. I agree, they were both really, really good.
And now let's take a quick look at some of the scores from out of town. We did have a couple games in the QBL tonight. Start out west.
Well, Rockhampton we saw in Toowoomba last night. We didn't broadcast the women, but obviously they played up there before the men, and they got the win up there quite comfortably over the Toowoomba Mountaineer ladies. And they came down to the Ipswich Force tonight and got a much closer fought victory, 8 points over the Ipswich Force, which is great for them. What a great road trip. But Abby Bishop, 26 and 18, throw in 5 assists as well, just a superstar in our league. So fantastic effort for them. And then a bit further down the road, we saw Logan get up by 12 points over the USC Rip. And Kate Gaze lit it up with 30-odd points tonight. And just a special mention to her. Her grandparents are at every single game she plays, I think, and she lost her grandma during the week. So a very emotional night for her. So to come out and put in 31 points in a win would have been a pretty special feeling, I'm sure, for all the Gaze family.
Yeah, condolences to the Gaze family and Kate Gaze. All the best wishes for you and your family.
Well, Kate Gaze could be one of my 2 favourite players, men or women, in our league. She's just such a quality athlete. I enjoy watching her play, so I'm just really obviously happy for her that after such an emotional week, she's able to come out and play so well, and her team's able to get a win. It's fantastic.
And Kate is always quite nice to us when we broadcast the games as well. She's come over and thanked us for streaming the games. And we'll have Logan next week. Next Friday night is our game. There's only the one game in the QBL next weekend. It's Friday night. I think it's a 6:30 tip for the women at Ipswich. So Logan at Ipswich, followed by the men at 8:30. So make sure you tune into that one as well. Do we have any other finals? Nothing final yet.
It's pretty close. We may as well call a final. There's still a couple of minutes left in the Mackay-Townsville game, but Mackay up 16 over the Townsville Flames. So not quite a final yet, John, but we may as well go ahead and call it. Mackay, going to get the win up there quite comfortably. And then the Southwest Metro Pirates, it looks like, have run out quite comfortably over the Gold Coast Rollers, 73-40. And I think that might cover it so far. I'll just bring up those stats from that game and see if Sydney Parsons might have done a lot of damage you would expect for Southwest, but they had a fairly comfortable win over at the Hibiscus Sports Centre this evening.
Yeah, we had Gold Coast.
Yeah, well, Sydney Parsons with 10 points, so it wasn't necessarily a big game from her like we saw last year, but quite an even spread. 1, 2, 3, 4 players in double figures for Southwest, so positive signs for them. And Gold Coast, as we know, continue to rebuild and gel and get minutes into a lot of their younger players in their program, so not a huge surprise, that result.
Yeah, Gold Coast, again, with probably the youngest team in all of the competition. They knew it was going to be challenging, but every game is a good experience. You can only go up from where they're at the moment. And we saw them in that first game of the season where they just refused to give in. I like the way that they play. I know at times it can be a bit challenging for them, but they never give up, and that's what you want to see out of a young team. Talking about the game now here, though, at halftime, adjustments that need to be made. I think Brisbane really needs to find someone who's going to get consistent buckets for them. I think Ariel Butts, with those 2 early fouls, she kind of sat down and got a bit cold, and then they seemed to go away from her when she did get back onto the court. Do you think they need to go back inside and feature Butts to try and get back into this one?
The short answer is definitely yes, but I think a lot of that is credit to Cairns defense too. Super active, because it's one thing for Ariel Butts to go and get position, but it's another thing to be able to get her the ball. And I thought the Cairns perimeter players especially did a great job of making that a really difficult entry pass. So give them some credit, definitely. But I think Ariel Butts, like we said in the pregame, you can't just walk down and seal up and hope to make a move. She's got to be able to catch it off movement. Maybe she pick and rolls to the hoop. Maybe she flashes from the weak side. Who knows what the adjustment's going to be from Coach Dudick, but they definitely have to get her moving to the rock and then make a quick move before the Cairns can double down, which they've shown they will continue to double her in the post.
And if you're Cairns, do you just keep doing what you're doing?
I think so. And if they can just show their hands and maybe keep Brisbane off the foul line in the second half, that's going to go a long way to helping them build this lead that they've already got. But they played really well, a good brand of basketball. There's not one player that they need to shut down if I'm the Capitals, because Cairns have got a pretty even spread across their whole roster. But if they can just keep Brisbane off the foul line, get themselves out of foul trouble, I think that'll go a long way towards helping them finish off this win tonight.
Yeah, I think for me, it's going to be another great half of basketball here. It's only an 8-point difference at the moment. So let's see who can really throw that first shot here early in the second half. We're underway with the game action. Shout out to our guy, Dave Derwin, just making his appearance. He's getting limbered up for the men's game. Coming up next, wearing the Wizards hat, too. What's that all about?
Well, he'll probably claim to have connections in the Wizards front office if we asked him. So that might be where that comes from. But I would have thought repping the Celtics during this series might have been more in line with Double D, but we'll have to ask him about that. But meanwhile, Cairns come down, have a really nice possession to start the second half. And so did Brisbane, getting the ball inside Ariel Butts. Couldn't quite finish, but we saw Rachel Pryor come and set an on-ball, which dragged Ariel Butts into it defensively. Brisbane switched. Pryor goes straight to the hoop to look to seal up on a smaller player after that switched possession. So good offense from Cairns to start this half.
Yeah, they're just really efficient when they run their sets.
Well, they're running the same thing. The on-ball is going to come again. We'll see if Brisbane play it differently.
There it is. Butts switches out on Evans. Inside now to Pryor. She's double teamed. Butts gets Pryor with the body. I don't know what she's complaining about. That was definitely a foul. You just saw her run. She tried to establish position, but she was late.
I agree. That was a foul every single time, and she tried to get possession. She was probably a step and a half too late, and that's going to send her to the bench, which is hurting Brisbane's chance. That's a big blow early on in this quarter.
Yeah, that's her third personal, so Ariel Butts going to have to take a seat on the bench. Kennedy out now to Evans. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Hutchinson fires the jumper. That's good.
Well, she's got a nice stroke. That's a really nice move off the step back. We saw her hit a 3 in the corner earlier in the match as well, and playing good D too. Really good local junior from Cairns, I believe.
47-35 the lead here. Lewis trying to get on track in the half. She misses.
It's a dangerous couple of minutes for the Capitals. Cairns have come out looking really good, executing their sets, getting open shots. Brisbane not doing that at all. This is a dangerous 2 or 3 possessions coming up here for the Capitals.
Yeah, Cairns just looks really, really crisp on everything they're doing, and particularly on the offensive end. You see there, Woodford gets called for the reach-in foul. Second team foul for Brisbane. It's going to be, Maddie Woodford's second personal. Duncan has it. She's got 3 seconds on the shot clock. Dumps it inside. Stolen there, though, by Freeburn. Freeburn kicks ahead. Lewis for Woodford. Woodford, though, can't handle the pass. Just a little bit too far in front of Maddie Woodford.
Yeah, good transition offense. Turnovers never great, but if you're going to make a turnover, make it an aggressive one like that. Good to see Brisbane getting out and running. They're going to need to do more of that. Off stops to get back in this game. Down 12 so far.
Yeah, they have to get some stops. That was their first stop, really, of the half. Here's Hutchinson. Good dribble pull-up. That's short, though. Woodford comes down with it.
And I know that Ariel Butts is now 3,000. I would get her back out there. I'm not sure that she's going to be a whole lot of use if she doesn't get to play at all in this third quarter. I'll get her out there. If she picks up the fourth, sit her down, but maybe go to a zone and protect her a bit. I think they need her offensively.
To the man here, a little miscommunication. Pryor flips one up and in. She saw the mismatch and went right at Maddie Woodford.
She's just a really good player. Has been for a long, long time. High basketball IQ, very skilled, pretty athletic. Made a really nice move on that possession.
It's just great recognition. Good look there by Freeburn to Woodford. Woodford left all alone on the baseline. Looking for Pryor inside. It's not there yet. Instead, Hutchinson's going to fire a baseline jumper. That's good. She's got the jump shot going here to start the second half.
She sure does, and there's a bit of physicality in the post too. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a little foul called in the next possession or two. Rachel Pryor's not appreciative of some of the bumps she's getting down there.
There's some contact there. That's on Freeburn. Let's see if they're going to give her a couple shots. They will. Heidi Freeburn going to go to line for 2 shots. Coach Duda going to the bench. Checking in is Kate Heel. And Delisha Lloyd going to take a seat on the bench. First one's good from Freeburn. Second one good as well. Hutchinson open again. She can't convert that one. Good rebound there, though, by Kennedy. Looking for the high-low. Good skip pass. Nice ball movement leading to an Evans 3. That was deep. She drained it anyway.
Now, she can really stroke the ball. We saw it earlier in the match as well. That's a stroke, looks so nice. Pure shooter. But again, Kansas moving the rock, getting it through hands.
And they've started this third quarter on an 11-2 run. Doing it on both ends. 5 seconds now on the shot clock. Lewis has to fire a deep 3 that's off. And a great defensive rebound there by Hutchinson. Good crossover leads to a fast break opportunity, but good trans D by Brisbane. Donkin will fire a 3 that's short. Pryor can't corral it. And then Freeburn's fouled by Rachel Pryor. Pryor didn't like the call.
I think it's just I think she's saying, well, Heidi Freeburn's half my size. It's not my fault she fell down. I think that's the complaint, but good timeout for Brisbane. They really needed it. This is what I'm saying. Ariel Butts, 3 fouls, I know, but 5 minutes left in the quarter, you're down 15. You've got to get it back out there. Brisbane at the moment, 39 points so far in 2.5 quarters. From what I can see, I'm just not sure that they're knowing where they're going to get looks from in terms of we need a bucket, where we're going to go, and I just think Butts provides that focus for them. So obviously in foul trouble, but it doesn't matter if you're in foul trouble or not. If you get down 15, 20 points, game's over. So I think she needs to get back in pretty quickly just to give Brisbane a focus offensively.
To me, they seem to struggle on offense without her in that post. We see a lot of one-pass shots, no-pass shots out of Brisbane without her on the floor.
Well, it's all perimeter-based too. And I just think she draws enough attention that gives those shooters some space. And we saw in the first half, Brisbane getting to the foul line, I forget the exact number, 22 times or something like that. I'm not sure they've gone there at all in the first 4 minutes so far in this quarter. So Cairns have made that adjustment defensively. So give them all the credit in the world. But if I'm Brisbane, I'm struggling to score. You just got to roll the dice and get one of your star players back in.
I agree with you, Dan. Great analysis as always, guys. And this game is presented to you by Live Sport Australia. Make sure you visit us on Facebook and give us a like. We'll present to you a QBL Game of the Week every single week throughout the QBL season. As the jumper from Lewis is good. $13 points the deficit here for Brisbane. Cairns very efficient in running their offense. Kennedy is going to fire a deep 3 that's short. Long rebound, Donkin recovers it. Coach Worthington calls out the shot. Duncan's got 5 seconds. She gets to the paint. Layup is off, though. And then they're going to get Rachel Pryor for a technical foul. She wanted the foul called. There was a bit of contact. She said something, an immediate technical there for Rachel Pryor.
Well, I don't know what she said. Who knows? I think she's a pretty fiery competitor as well. So who knows what was said. But we said a few possessions ago, she was getting bumped, not appreciative of it, obviously frustrated, and it comes out in a technical, which is unfortunate. You're up 13. Brisbane get the chance to draw that, possibly single figures if they can convert these foul shots and score off this out of bounds place. That's a bad technical for Cairns, but I mean, Myra Donkin missed the layup, but Cairns get the offense. They run good offense. They run their good offense at the rebound. They kick it back out. They run another good set. They're really making Brisbane play a lot of defense, which is the kind of structure and execution that you would expect a Wertho coach team to have.
They've been executing tremendously well. They're up by 12, 54-42, as Lewis tries to answer with the jump shot. That's good. If Amy Lewis can get going and they can get some stops, they're only down 10. Like the man look here. Coach Worthington has gone to her bench. Checking back in is L.J. Williams.
Well, Rachel Pryor getting the technical hurts. She's a good player, as Amy Lewis' ankles got snapped. But bringing Williams back in, it's not a bad thing for Cairns. She played awesome in the first half.
Great dribble penetration by Lewis. Freeburn, though, can't finish. And then Kennedy comes down with the defensive rebound. That would have been a nice bucket there for Brisbane. Really nice ball movement here and patience from Cairns. They've got 10 seconds on the shot clock. Coach Worthington wants the horn set. It's a double screen. Kennedy 3 is off. She had to fire it up. Ball goes out of bounds, so better defensive set there from Brisbane. Woodford with 3 seconds kicks it out to Lewis. Lewis has to put one up. She misses. Offensive rebound and putback is no good by Heel, and then Kennedy comes down with it, and she's fouled. A lot of contact there. Refs let it go, but they couldn't let that last one go.
Yeah, and we said in the first half, good to see the refs let these girls play, but obviously they can't let everything go, so good call there.
And I really like what Cairns has done so far, really controlling the tempo. They're playing it at their own pace, not letting Brisbane get out in transition and really working the ball very, very well on offense. As Duncan flips one up, that's off. Heel swipes it away. Fighting for the rebound is pretty much everyone on the court. The ball bounces out of bounds. The referee is going to give that one to Brisbane Capitals. Great hustle there from everybody, pretty
Absolutely.
much.
Saw 4 girls on the floor. It's fantastic to see.
2:38 to go here in the third quarter, guys. Don't forget, this game presented to you by Live Sport Australia via Nothing But Net Media. If you haven't done so already, make sure you visit the Live Sport Australia Facebook page and give us a like. We'll be bringing you a QBL basketball game each and every week. We've also got some Big V basketball and hopefully some other state league competitions across Australia. If there's enough demand for it, hopefully we can get those associations and those organizations on board with what we're trying to accomplish. So please give us a like and support what we're doing for you. Floor wipers getting a bit of a workout here. Gotta love the music accompaniment as well. Guys here in Brisbane do a great job on the announcing and the music. We also got to give Wayne Moore a big shout out and Trevor Lidston, because the guys always have everything set up and ready for us to go here in Brisbane. They always look out for us here in Auckland Flowers. So thanks, Wayne and Trevor.
Well, Court 1 at Auckland Flowers is one of the most celebrated courts in all of Brisbane, all of Queensland basketball, maybe even nationally. So much history here, so it's great to see the floor always in great condition, and their team here always put on a good show on game night. It's great.
Brisbane, though, is down 10 here. They really haven't been able to answer anything Cairns is doing. Lewis is fouled there, though.
I mean, Cairns are playing fantastic, active defense, plenty of energy, but it's just getting called for a couple of cheap fouls, which I'm not sure were fouls, but the refs are calling them. So they don't want to put Brisbane back on the foul line.
I've mucked up our game clock here. Sorry, guys. It's definitely not 9 minutes to go. It's about 2 minutes to go. I'll have to try and get that reset for you shortly. Amy Lewis jumper is off. Woodford again with the rebound. She can't get the tip. It's knocked around, though, and Woodford comes down with it. Now Lewis goes to the bucket. She's fouled, but she's going to get called for a foul and go to the free throw line for 2 shots.
Brisbane just pounding Cairns on the offensive glass there.
All right, I think I have the clock sorted, if I'm lucky. Minute 57 to go in the third quarter. Brisbane down 10. Lewis at the line for 2. Misses the first. Free throw struggles still happening for Brisbane.
They sure are. They're getting back to the line. Not as much as we saw to start the match, but their shooting percentage, we'll look it up at the break, fellas. They're all the viewers, but shooting percentage from the foul line has not been great. Only down 9. If they can start to convert at a higher clip, this margin could get squeezed in a bit further.
And coming out with a bit of three-quarter court pressure, Evans going to fire another 3 that goes way off. She shot the ball well, just not on that opportunity there.
Well, her shot has looked so pure, but can't make all of them.
Baker checking back in. Evans going to get a breather.
No love from her, though. That was a quick shot, too. Quick shot and an air ball. No love from
quick
the coach.
hook.
A quick hook.
Quick shot leads to a quick hook.
Especially, you got to recognize a minute 30 left in the quarter. You're up 9. 1 pass air ball. It's not what the coaching staff would have wanted to see.
Ball goes out of bounds off of the Capitals. So Cairns has possession of it with a minute 30 to go in the third quarter.
I'm curious with Coach Dudik's substitutions. We haven't seen much of Delisha Lloyd lately. No Grace Champion at all. Ariel Butts continues to sit. So she's really riding this group that's on the floor. Heavy minutes at the moment. They're playing well, but we'll see how much energy they got left in the tank to finish the fourth quarter.
Good handoff there. Donkin finishes strong at the bucket. Great pass there by L.J. Williams. I'll tell you what, if Coach Worthington is missing 2 imports with this group,
they're legit.
They're legit.
They go to the Spartans tomorrow night. The Spartans are legit as well. That'll be an awesome match. Well, tomorrow afternoon, rather.
Let's see if Cairns can increase this lead. It's a 5 seconds on the shot clock. Aldridge fouled on the jump shot, so she's going to go to the line for 2. That foul's on L.J. Williams. So Aldridge going to go to the line for 2 shots. She can hit the first. Second one, though, is off. Brisbane, though, with the offensive rebound. Aldridge trying to get into the paint. Ball goes out of bounds. Great defense there by Jade Kennedy, stepping up and pressuring Aldridge. We've got about 42 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Cairns holding a 10-point lead. Here's Pedro.
That's great action from Cairns.
Good looking jumper there from Mallon. It's off though. Gotta love the hustle from Kennedy. Heel tries to save it, but Cairns recovers. They can hold for the final shot. Coach Worthington calling out the horn set. He wants to see.
He loves the horn set, doesn't he?
They're getting great looks out of it.
Whenever there's late shot clock or end of quarters, that's what they go to, and they do. They get great looks out of it, absolutely.
Here comes Lewis. She's going to get called for the carry. I had no time left. The clock here has 0.6 seconds left. I don't go that minute on our clock here. Can Cairns get a shot off here in 0.6 seconds?
I think you'll see Mara Donkin curl off and catch and shoot something is my tip.
Well, let's see here.
I'm wrong.
They're looking for Evans.
Oh, how did they miss?
of
I was going to say, how did they miss that? You can see where that's a heavy foul. Heavy foul. You can see what they're trying to do. They got Evans curling off, looking for a lob. I mean, where that goes into his playbook, he's played for a lot of coaches. Man, that was a great look. No timeout. Great execution. That was a heavy foul. No doubt about it.
Very heavy
Hopefully
foul.
she's okay.
That one's on Victoria Aldridge there. She saw it coming. She was trying to show on the screen. And she slid just a bit too late and clipped Evans there coming off the screen. Looks like it's only the 4th team foul on the Capitals. Looks like Evans is going to be okay. Just got her cage rattled a bit there.
Well, it looked like a shot to the nose or somewhere around that point, which looks like she's checking for any blood or cloud or anything out of her nose. She looks okay, but shaken up.
It doesn't tickle, does it? When you're running full speed and just getting the shoulder to the chest, is it?
I think she does have a bit of blood. You can see her checking herself out.
Let's hope she doesn't have concussion or anything. She had a great game tonight. Coach Worthington checks Elle Hutchinson in for
Let's see if
Evans.
I think they'll run the same set here.
And that to your point though, Dan, I mean, how well coached is this team that they don't need to call a timeout and draw that up? They just know what they're doing with 0.6 to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kennedy, can she get it off in time? No, she cannot. And that's going to be the end of the 3rd quarter. And the Cairns Dolphins are going to go into the home stretch up 10, 56-46. Dan, quick thoughts on that 3rd quarter. Pretty impressive again from Cairns, but Brisbane kind of got back into it towards the end.
Yeah, they sure did, but Cairns still just showing their poise. And if you just took the last minute or two as a snapshot of the whole game, Cairns is executing better than Brisbane are, and that's why they're up 10.
All right, well, we'll take a quick break, and we'll come back with the final quarter of action here from Auchenflower. It's a 56-46 lead for the Cairns Dolphins over the Brisbane Capitals. This game presented to you by Live Sport Australia and Nothing But Net Media. Welcome back to NAB Stadium here in Auchenflower. 56-46 the lead for the Cairns Dolphins over the Brisbane Capitals. 10-point the lead heading into the break. Thunder, what does Brisbane have to do to get back into this one?
Well, I think they've got to pick it up defensively. Cairns are executing really well, give them the credit, but they're getting looks that they want to get. Brisbane have to start defending a little bit smarter and making adjustments, but offensively they need to re-establish some focus points, and I think Ariel Butts has to be that girl for me. Delisha Lloyd to a lower extent, but they're struggling to score. I think when they come down, Cairns has a good run. They don't know where their buckets are going to come from, the Capitals, so they need to find ways to get looks for the right player, and I think it's got to start on the post through Butts.
Well, Butts is back into the game. The 4th quarter just about getting set to get underway. Brisbane has their starters, Freeburn, Aldridge, Woodford, Lewis, and Butts. Butts triple teamed. Good skip pass to Aldridge. She's going to fire a 3. That's good, and there's a foul inside. Don't know who that one's going to go on. I thought it might be an offensive. Let's see what the referees say.
I just don't understand what's going on with Ariel Butts tonight. That was a foul on her. You played 12 minutes, and you come out on the first possession and pick up an offensive foul. So she's got 4 now. I think she has to stay on the floor. She's barely played. I think you just have to roll with her, but she picks up cheap fouls like that, she'll be out of here pretty soon.
Yeah, Butts just battling for position, trying to get herself set for an offensive rebound opportunity. Picks up the 4th foul. It's a 7-point lead, though. Aldridge hit that 3. That's a big bucket here for Brisbane early. Kennedy tries to answer. That's short. And there's Butts with the rebound. Butts has the mismatch. She's triple teamed again. Gets through it. Goes to the bucket. They're going to call her for the offensive foul, it looks like. And that's going to be Butts' 5th personal. And she's going to be out for the evening. Tough call, Dan, or you like the call?
Oh, it's the right call. Just not a very smart play, and not to be too critical. I think she's got real skill. But the game's being officiated a certain way all night. You pick up a foul on an offensive rebound. The very next possession, you pick up a charge. You've got to be smarter than that. But anyway, Brisbane make the adjustment. I'd like to see Delisha Lloyd come and play the 5. Space the floor a bit more of an active defender. Beck, Coach Dudek, she's intense, but I think it's flowing onto her team a little bit too. She needs to show a calm head to let her girls stay calm out on the floor.
And Coach Dudek, definitely a fiery coach, to say the least. There he goes, Duncan. There's another foul. That's a strong foul there by Freeburn. That's going to send Duncan to the free throw line for a couple shots. So we've seen 5 fouls called in 58 seconds to start the 4th quarter. Things getting a little chippy, though, between the two teams. You don't mind it?
No, it's good. They're two good teams, both with aspirations of finals basketball and deep finals runs, and they're competing hard. Bit of chippiness is healthy, I think.
Let's see if Brisbane can respond here. 58-49, they're down 9. Lewis baseline jumper is well short. And then another foul call here. Not sure who they're giving this one to. Looks like it's going to go on Jade Kennedy.
I think that's a foul where you look up and Brisbane has 14 fouls, Cairns have 0, and they just feel the need to call one just to even up a little bit. That's my read on that. I didn't see a foul down there. But Mark's going to make the substitution and bring back Williams, who's done a great job so far, so expect more of the same from her.
Kennedy has 4 personals, as does Rachel Pryor. So Coach Worthington has to go with his bench, and they've produced for him tonight. It's been a net positive when they go to the bench as Aldridge steps into a 3. That's good as well. Victoria Aldridge has her jumper going here to start the 4th.
Well, when we look up, John, it's a 6-point game. Cairns are in control. They have been all night, but Brisbane down 6.
Williams turns it over. That's a travel. Taylor Evans going to check back in. Who's coming off? That's going to be Elle Hutchinson checking out for the Dolphins. I like Cairns picking up full court. And there's a foul call. That one's going to go on Bibby Baker. I thought that was the 15th foul, but I was looking at Brisbane. It's only the 2nd team foul there for Cairns. 8:08 to go in the game. 6-point lead for the Dolphins. And Coach Worthington going to take a timeout. So, Dan, we're going to take one as well. As I said, 8:08 to go in the game. 6-point lead for the Dolphins. We'll be back with you shortly here with the final conclusion of this exciting QBL matchup. Back with you at NAB Stadium in Auchenflower. Coming out of that timeout, Coach Worthington had a few words with the referees, just making sure he knows what he's thinking. 6-point lead here, though, for Cairns. Brisbane with the ball and 5 seconds to go on the shot clock. Freeburn, Woodford's got to get it up. Inside pass is finished there by Heel. It's now a 5-point lead.
And I wonder how long Wertho can wait with Rach Pryor on the bench. You'd think a close game, they're going to need her to be out there the last few minutes.
It's 58-54. That was my mistake. Apologies for that. Great offensive rebound by Williams. Second chance again. She gets the foul and the bucket. Great tenacity there by L.J. Williams. And that's a big bucket for Cairns.
It's a big bucket. Great hands, too. Got the offensive rebound. Missed, got it back again.
Didn't bring it down, just went straight back up with it.
Yeah, she's been great for Cairns tonight. I'm not sure her exact numbers, but she's been awesome.
Free throw, though, no good. Evans, though, chases it down.
Evans is another one who's been fantastic. An offensive rebound off a free throw is going to kill any coach. And she rewards herself with another dagger. Man, she's been shooting the lights out tonight, too. Not too concussed, Johnny, from that knock at the third quarter buzzer.
Pedro with an assist. That's another great look. Lead back up to 9 for Cairns. Lewis going to step back, fire the jumper. It's off. Pedro comes down with it. And here's Duncan working the clock here. You have a 9-point lead. Every second counts. It's the fourth quarter. Duncan nearly loses it. Good ball movement here again. Baker with the 3. That's off. Lewis gets it. Stop and pop for Amy Lewis is good. Back and forth we go. 7-point lead now for Cairns. Pedro looking to create at the top of the key. Good steal there, though, by Lewis. She read the pass well. Lewis goes all the way to the bucket. She can't finish, though. Woodford's there for the offensive rebound. Great look. Woodford steps in. It's blocked there by Williams. Great block by L.J. Williams.
Just don't need the dribble there for Maddie Woodford. Just catch and shoot. It's a fast shot.
Again, Cairns just being patient on offense. You don't mind that. They're going to get L.J. Williams, though, with the offensive foul, setting an illegal screen. Third team foul, and that's the third personal foul by L.J. Williams.
I think that was well sold by Maddie Woodford. I think she was just a little bit late getting rounded and just kind of threw her head back a little bit. It wasn't a lot in it, but obviously Brisbane Capitals appreciative of the call.
Let's see if they can get some points up. And Duncan now going to get called for a foul. A little too aggressive defending Freeburn.
I think that'll be Myra Duncan's 4th too, I think, which, no, I apologise, her 3rd foul. So not too much of a concern yet for her. They need her on the floor to finish this game for sure.
Yeah, Brisbane's already in the penalty. Cairns now with that. That was their 4th team foul. Lewis takes the inbounds. Just in front of the Cairns bench. A lot of dribble here from Amy Lewis. She picks up her dribble. Now Woodford drives baseline, passes it to Lloyd. Baseline jumper is good for Delisha Lloyd. Great look there by Woodford.
Great look, I agree, but I think Brisbane need a steady diet of Delisha Lloyd. Oslerio Butts is done. She can't help them. Heidi Freeburn played a great first. I haven't done much. I think Delisha Lloyd could be the one to step up if Brisbane are going to get this win.
A lot of action inside. Going to give that foul to Victoria Aldridge. She's going to go. That's Aldridge's 4th personal as well. That's going to send the Dolphins to the free throw line. Pryor checks back in. We haven't seen her since she got the technical. Plenty of time to cool down.
She's been playing a long time. Very experienced player. Still playing at a really high level. So I'm sure she's aware of the importance, having watched the last I don't know, quarter almost, 10 minutes from the bench. She's aware of how important it is for her to be on the floor for Cairns, so she'll be careful and manage her 5th foul really well. I'd be surprised if she does anything too silly here and gets herself out of the game.
Lewis looking to isolate, gets in the paint. She's going to turn around, jump shot, rolls off, and Pryor gets the rebound, but ball's knocked out of bounds by Delisha Lloyd. Tough pass there by Pedro, knocked out of bounds by Freeburn. Here's Brisbane's full court press. They go right over the top. Donkin has it stolen by Maddie Woodford. Great hustle there by Woodford. Lloyd, turnaround jumper, that's good. She's starting to heat up a bit, and it's just in time. Cuts the lead to 5. Great poise there by Baker.
Well, Cairns have executed so well for the most part of this match. They're at that stage now. Brisbane's making a run. They need buckets, and they do it again. Execute. Mara Donkin, one of their studs, gets a shot.
That's a great bucket there by Donkin.
Well, they need to settle. And a lot of teams, I think, so far at this stage in the year don't know how to get that settling hoop. Come down, execute, get the shot for one of your main players. Cairns did it exactly that on that possession.
Lloyd, free throw line jumper, rolls in and out. It's tipped. Coming down with it. Looked like it was Pedro there, but they're going to get Pedro for a foul on Delisha Lloyd. Jade Kennedy going to check in for Pedro. Great minutes from Pedro tonight. And I can't say it enough, just a really nice performance from the bench unit for Coach Worthington.
Absolutely, she's played really, really well. And I think if you looked at the plus minus when the bench, it's almost more positive for the bench girls from Cairns. They've been so good.
Lloyd hits him, hit the first, missed the second, scrapping for the rebound. Ball is out of bounds. They're going to give the ball to the Dolphins. Good scrap there, 6-point lead. Cairns just can't put it away at the moment. Brisbane just kind of hanging around. Every time they make a bit of a run, get to within that 6-point range, Cairns comes up with the bucket.
Well, they're letting Brisbane hang around, which is dangerous. You don't want to let a home team hang around because the last minute or two, anything can happen. A 3-ball here and there. Brisbane could easily steal this game because Cairns probably, you would easily say, has been the better team all night. So up 6, let's see if they can extend this lead and give themselves a bit more breathing space. But Brisbane, as you would expect, putting pressure off the floor here and hopefully disrupting Cairns, getting them out of their offense.
And don't forget, we'll have the men's game. It's a rematch of the 2016 QBL Grand Final Series between the Cairns Marlins and the Brisbane Capitals. That foul was on Delisha Lloyd, so that puts Cairns in the bonus as well. So it's going to be a free throw fest from here on out every time there's a foul.
We spoke earlier, for anyone just joining the broadcast now, the SBL game, Brisbane-Noosa went late into overtime, which is why we started a bit late, and now we've got a foul shot frenzy to finish here with both teams in the bonus. I mean, the men might not start till 8:30.
We'll see. It's quarter past already. Woodford pushing it up court. Lloyd finishes. Great push there from Brisbane. They're showing a trap here. It's man-to-man defense here from Brisbane. Woodford on Donkin. Now Aldridge on Pryor. Kennedy over to Donkin. She's going to fire top of the key 3. That's off. Freeburn grabs the rebound, and they're off and running again. It's Brisbane. Skip pass to Freeburn. Comes off the screen. Good pass inside for Lloyd. She can't finish, though. Fighting for the rebound. Baker comes down with it.
Still, Brisbane's offense has looked a lot better. We said Delisha Lloyd might be the one to step up. So far, she has. I mean, make or miss. That's a good look. They've got to be happy with that.
Kennedy with the wild one. She misses. Lewis going one-on-one with Duncan. Stops and pops. That's in. It's now a 4-point lead here, and then Maddie Woodford gets called for a foul. A bit too aggressive on the defense there. That's her 4th personal. That's going to send Duncan to the free throw line for 2 shots.
I think the officiating has been really consistent, though. So maybe that was, and you hear the crowd say, soft. Maybe they're right, but it's been called all night. So these players have to make that adjustment, and Myra Duncan, an experienced player, goes to the foul line. Yeah,
I think the referees, again, I say it all the time, it's the most thankless job in the world. I can't understand. If I meet a referee, the first question I ask them, why?
And do they say money?
They love it. They love it. I'm sure the money helps, but I don't think they're retiring on referee money.
No, that's right. I agree with you.
71-65 now. Brisbane hanging around in there. A couple threes, gets them back into it. They need a bucket here. Freeburn kicks it out. Lewis fires the 3. It's good. 3-point game. 2:20 to go.
You just get the feeling Brisbane are going to steal this, don't you?
It feels that way, Dan. It sure feels that way. Let's see if Cairns can answer.
I'd almost run just some Myra Donk and Rachel Pryor side on balls. There's something a bit different because Brisbane's defense has really picked up a lot here lately as well.
Duncan misses, and then there's a foul. That one's going to go on Rachel Pryor going over the back of Victoria Aldridge, and that's going to be Pryor's 5th. She's done for the night.
I'd love to see a replay of that because I'm not sure there was a foul in that.
I can't say there was contact, but she was boxed out. She jumped up for the board, so I can't say there wasn't contact.
You're allowed to jump straight up, though. You're allowed to.
She did kind of reach over the defender. There may or may not have been contact. We can't say, but nonetheless, Pryor's done for the night, and Aldridge at the line for 2 shots. Misses the first. Brisbane on the night, if they can't pull this one out, they're going to go back to the free throw line and have a look because Aldridge just missed the second as well.
Yeah, so for viewers, they're 21 of 33, thereabouts. 34 of the foul line, depending how up to date those live stats are. But, I mean, they've shot double the foul shots, more than double that Cairns have shot, but haven't converted many more than what Cairns has. They've really left a lot of points on the foul line.
And there's a foul. Evans just being a bit aggressive with the shot clock coming down. Felt the contact, went up for the shot. Don't know how, again, not on the floor, and I know you get caught up in the moment, but that's a foul.
That is 100% a foul, no doubt. No doubt about it.
Aldridge with that foul, fouls out. So heel checks back in for Brisbane. And Evans at the line for 2 shots. There's a couple big ones here.
And these are both going down, Johnny.
Very cool, calm and collected.
She's been shooting fantastically all night. First one looked easy. Second one, nothing but net.
Love it. 73-68. Brisbane trying to get a cheap one. It's stolen. Baker comes up with it, and she's streaking down the court. Bit of contact there. They're going to get Freeburn with the foul.
Well, what Brisbane can't afford to do is turn a ball over cheaply like that. If you can get into your half-court sets, the way this game's going, put some pressure on the rim, you're going to go to the foul line. So those cheap turnovers down 5 with a minute 40 left, that really cost them.
Yeah, Coach Dudek takes a timeout. It's a pretty good timeout. Your team down 5, Dan, 1:41 to go. Put your Coach Dudek hat on. What are you telling your troops at this stage of the game?
That's a good question, Johnny. They're going to go Cairns to the foul line here. If they make both, Brisbane's down 7, minute 40 left. So obviously 3 possession games. They need to speed this thing up. But I just think you've got to look after the ball and get quick looks on the rim. You're going to get a layup, and the way the game's been going the last 4 or 5 minutes, you're probably going to go to the foul line. So I'd just say keep your hands out. We cannot foul them. Make it obvious on D that we've got our hands out. Don't put Cairns to the foul line any longer. And offensively, when we get the ball, just quick ripping attacks, maybe a quick on ball in transition. Let's get to the hoop and see if we can get some easy layups, or quick layups rather, and maybe even get to the foul line as well.
And I'll get you to switch hats now. Put on Coach Worthington's hat. What is he telling his troops to bring it home up by 5? with a couple free throws coming up.
Well, I think he's saying the same thing with the exception of Brisbane's trying to speed the game up, quick looks in trans. Cairns trying to do the same thing. Don't foul Brisbane and get into the lane, but do it late in the shot clock. Let's run our stuff, execute our sets, make Brisbane play defense for 15, 16 seconds, and then attack the rim at that stage of the shot clock. If they can do that, control tempo, doesn't matter if Brisbane score every possession. Kansas has too much ball to finish the game off up 7 points if these foul shots go down.
Yeah, Baker at the line for 2 shots. These are her first ones of the night. She misses the first. Second one is up, and that's off. Offensive rebound, though, by Kennedy.
Oh, she might have traveled, but an offensive rebound on a foul shot. Oh, it's a coach killer.
That's the last thing you want to happen. 3 seconds to go. Evans flips one up. It's off. A lot of contact.
That could be 3 foul shots for, well, they've called 2. You might want to review that. But offensive rebound, we just spoke about it. You're down 5 points, minute 40 left. There's plenty of time, but offensive rebound kills you, and then you put a great shooter to the foul line as well.
Evans goes. Well, we thought it was Evans, but it's going to go on Pedro.
Well, they were joking with each other.
Yeah.
Pedro went to the line as a joke. I think she might have tricked herself into, or tricked the official into thinking she was the one that got fouled. When Cairns would have rather have Evans shoot it for sure.
So Pedro missed them both.
She might get an extra one here. There was a violation. It might have been on both teams. I don't know what's going on here.
Yep, lane
Brisbane
violation.
ball.
Brisbane ball. So 4 missed free throws, though, for Cairns. And then Duncan makes it even worse by fouling Freeburn on the inbounds pass.
We spoke earlier, John, about these officials have done a pretty good job just putting their whistles away and letting the girls play, but far out. There's a lot of fouls being called, let's just say that. A lot of fouls being called.
We're approaching that 8:30 mark you talked about earlier, Dan.
Well, I don't think the guys are going to start warming up until 8:30. It's going to be a late night here in Auckland Flower.
73-69 now with that Freeburn make. Second one coming up shortly. That's good as well.
Anyway, after all that noise, foul shots, missed free throws, offensive rebounds, we've got a 3-point game.
Here's some pressure from Brisbane. The trap is on. Good break by Cairns, and they're going to work the clock here up 3. Need a good look, Duke Cairns, on this one. Kennedy for 3. That's probably not the shot they wanted. Brisbane has an opportunity to cut it to 1 or tie with a 3. Screen from Lloyd. Freeburn picks it up, finds Lewis. Baseline jumper is in and out. Lloyd, though, with the offensive rebound. They move, working around to Freeburn. A lot of contact. She dribbles around it. Out to Lewis. 3-pointers up. It's good. And we're all tied at 73. And Coach Worthington goes right to the timeout as Amy Lewis ties the game at 73 points off a great look.
Well, give Amy Lewis all the credit in the world for knocking that shot down. But we spoke a minute ago about Cairns run late shot clock, get to the rim, and they did it, except they ended up taking a long 3, which obviously didn't go down. I just think you've just got to give the Capitals a steady diet of pressure on the rim and challenge these officials to keep calling fouls.
42 seconds to go in the game here. What do you do? Coach Worthington.
Well, he's
timeout.
Coach Worthington would have a bag of plays, and after timeout, looks like this, he'll have something really quality to draw up, I'm sure. So I would expect whatever it is, whatever the set looks like, for Cairns to come out, execute it really well, and get something going to the rim.
It's got to be going to the rim, doesn't it?
Has to
That
be.
last shot by Kennedy was a bad shot. There was still a bit of time left on the shot clock.
Well, Cairns are going to get 2 possessions to finish this game if they run it properly. You'd expect them to get through this, execute well, get to the rim, score maybe a foul shot, depending what happens, get a stop, and then they get the last possession of the game. So this is a really big play for them coming out of this timeout.
Both teams are in the penalty, so let's remember that. Any foul is going to send either of the team, whoever gets fouled, to the free throw line for shots. The timeout also advances the ball up half court with 24 seconds to go. So that's takes away a bit of the Brisbane pressure as well. So good timeout there by Coach Worthington. Let's see what he's drawn up. There's Duncan going on the left side. She's got it, thinks about the three, gets in the paint, kicks it out to Kennedy. There's plenty of time. They don't need to rush here. 10 seconds now on the shot clock. Baker has it. She's double teamed, loses the ball out of bounds. A lot of contact. They were hoping for a foul call, and now Brisbane can hold for the final shot. There's only 21 seconds to go.
Well, you would have thought Donkin or maybe Evans would have been the one to make that final play. But Brisbane played pretty good D. Give them credit, but it wasn't the executed set we expected from Cairns out of the timeout. We'll see if Coach Judy can come up with something here. And the other thing that did is, by using so much clock, Brisbane potentially could just hold and take the last shot of the game. They get the win or they go to overtime. Imagine that, Johnny.
You jinxed it. You said it a few minutes ago. I should have. You got to always know there's the broadcaster's jinx. What you say quite often happens.
Well, I'm learning these things. I'll remind myself not to tempt fate in the future. But
wouldn't it be a shock though to you that this game would go to overtime? You mentioned it also a little while ago that they were going to potentially steal this one. Brisbane's done a good job to come back into it. They hung around all game. Now they have an opportunity to win it. They're gonna take the last shot, you would think, of this game.
I'm looking for Amy Lewis or Delisha Lloyd to decide the outcome of this match right here. Probably Amy Lewis.
No Freeburn? No Heidi Freeburn?
Well, I don't think so. I think if Amy Lewis gets doubled or something like that, maybe she'll kick it out. But I don't know. I think she's been the player tonight. 24 points. She's just hit a big three to tie it. I think Heidi Freeburn will have the ball in her hand. She'll make the play. Take it late clock. Kick it out. Amy Lewis will decide.
Surely it's got to be something at the rim, though.
Well, how about my favourite Capital, Grace Champion? Hasn't played all night. Come out and just drain a three to win it. Why not?
I mean, that's what she does. She gets buckets, so she's out there, and this is going to be the biggest bucket Brisbane needs of the evening. 21 seconds to go. Freeburn takes the inbounds, and here they go. Brisbane going to hold out for the last shot. You surprised they're manning here?
No, I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they start to switch everything. Can switch every
8 seconds. They need to get moving here. Freeburn going to the rim, lays it up. It's off. Lloyd with the rebound is blocked. And then they're going to call a foul with 1 second to go. There was contact. It was during the battle for the rebound.
To see this game decided on a last-second foul, and it'd be a disappointing end.
Lloyd going to go to the free throw line for 2 shots. First one is up and good. Brisbane takes the lead. I can't remember the last time they had the lead.
Well, it's been a long time in Cairns. Are they out of timeouts here, or can they advance it?
Second one is up. It's off. The rebound goes down to Cairns. They can't get the shot off, and the Brisbane Capitals sneak one home off of a Delisha Lloyd free throw with 1.8 seconds to go.
Well, a missed foul shot's the best possible outcome for Brisbane in that case, because obviously it starts the clock. Cairns can't take a miss out of the, a make out of the net and advance it on a timeout. You miss it, as soon as the rebound, the clock starts. That's Wertho just, fiery Wertho just came out, almost broke his ball. I think he tried to break it.
Yeah,
he'd be pissed off, and he deserves to be pissed off. They played well or not, but
he wasn't happy with the referees. I think he's doing the smart thing and just walking off the court before he says something or does something he'll regret. But nonetheless, the Capitals sneak one away from the Cairns Dolphins. It was a great game, great action. Really unfortunate for Cairns to drop that one.
Totally unfortunate. I agree. I thought they were the better team all night, and anyway, it's in the books. Give Brisbane credit for hanging tough. Cairns probably had a chance to put them away and didn't. So, I mean, give the Capitals all the credit in the world for hanging in there and getting a win. But, I mean, Cairns have every right to feel like that was one that got away.
So let's take a look at the final statistics for you. 74-73 the win for the Brisbane Capitals over the Cairns Dolphins. Leading the way for Brisbane was Amy Lewis with 24. Heidi Freeburn had 21 and Delisha Lloyd with 15. Then you look at the Dolphins. They were led by Donkins, 18 points, Evans and Hutchinson, 14 and 12 apiece, and Williams with 11 off the bench. It was a great game. Guys, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back with the men's action for you. It's a rematch of the 2016 QBL Grand Final Series between the Cairns Marlins and the Brisbane Capitals. I got to thank Chris Sieber on the camera and Dan George on the call with me. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in, and we'll be back with you in a few minutes for the men's action. Don't forget, you're watching Live Sport Australia, presented to you by Nothing But Net Media.